What's up guys, welcome to Blake's Garage. So today we're gonna be doing a little bit of adjustment to the Birdie 30 over here. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel, I recommend to subscribe, but this is gonna be a general video for basically any car, truck, van, whatever. What I'm gonna do real quick, and this may not apply to you, this part, is I'm gonna lower my car. Now, this is something you have to do after lowering your car, basically after changing your tires, changing any sort of suspension part, or anything like that that is doing an alignment. So I'm gonna show you basically two easy tools that you can use. You can use one that's basically free. You probably have this stuff sitting around your house. I'll show you that first one. And that would be, you need two of these jack stands, which if you work on cars, you should have a jack and jack stands. Hopefully everybody's got a set of these. And then the other thing you're gonna need is a bit of yarn, a bit of string, twine, whatever. And that is the first tool. You can actually do an alignment with just these two things right here that you can pretty much do for free. And then I'll show you kind of a little bit fancier method of aligning your car with this new stuff that I got right here. And that's this little box that I got in the mail yesterday from Hard Motorsport. If you can see, this video is not sponsored or anything like that, but this is just a cool tool. And I like their logo, and you'll see. This is a German car. It really does not matter what type of these things you use. You can use these on any sort of car, truck, anything like that. When you buy performance stuff, you know you gotta get some cool stickers. So this is what we got right here. We got the toe plates. So this is got the Hard Motorsport logo kind of etched in here, pretty cool. And we got two tape measures of the same type. We also have a marker and two pieces that you can actually use to attach these to the wheels. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower the car, and then I'll show you guys how to use this and to adjust this with both these tools. This you can pick up for around, I think 60 bucks. I'll probably put an Amazon link down below. This is a Hard Motorsport one. I'll put a link down to that below. String and yarn or twine or whatever. I don't think you need a link to that. Should have it around your house. You can actually buy this kit if you already have two tape measures. You can just buy these plates and do your alignment like that. So the car's sitting right now. I just upgraded the coilovers. I had CA tuned regular street coilovers, and I basically redid the whole suspension. If you guys look back at my other videos, redid the whole front suspension, switched it to a quicker rack, the bump steer relocation, correction, and it basically quickens up the whole steering. When I did that, I also upgraded to the CA Tune competition coilover and set them to where I thought they would be. These have firmer spring rates. I actually set it to the same height that just the car did not settle as much. So I'm gonna lower the front and rear, then we'll get it down to the alignment. So I have my suspension dialed in to the appropriate height that I want. I have about a shoe fitment right there. I can just barely stuff my shoe in there. That's where I'm sticking this car. This is an autocross slash track car, so I do want it a little bit high, and I definitely want it functional. I don't want it super slammed. I mean, most people would say this is pretty slammed, but for you stance guys, you would say this is like monster trucking, I guess. You can see we got a bit of camber in there, which means the wheel is turned like this inward. That is negative camber. If it was straight, that would be 0 degrees camber. And if it was like this, it would be a positive camber. And you don't really want positive camber. You want just a little bit of negative camber. And if you're doing some racing and high performance driving, definitely a bit of negative camber is good. This should be about 3 degrees negative camber, so cool. So we got that set, we got the caster set. Let me show you now how to use just some string and get this thing pretty dang dialed in. I'm just gonna set my jack stands right here. You're gonna need some jack stands, so I'm gonna put those in front of the car, basically, and this is what you're gonna use to make a straight line to the rear wheels with the string. So just taking the piece of string, what you can do is just tie a little knot in the end. Very easily, just loop that around 1/2 of the jack stand, and then you can start kind of wrapping this around the car. Now what you want it to do is line up with the center line of your wheel. So basically the center cap of your wheel, it's gonna run this all the way around the back. Then you're gonna wanna take it onto the jack stand, tie another little loop or a knot. When we do that, we're just gonna be able to tie this around here. We can go ahead and pull the jack stand tight. So we just want this string to basically be nice and tight. Same here. We're just gonna pull it right now. I gotta go adjust it in the back so it's over the wheel. Center line of the wheel. Great, it's running right through the center line of the wheel. Adjust this one down a bit. running straight through the center line of the wheel. Now what you want it to do here is just barely touch the outside of the wheel. You don't want any of this going on. If you look down, you just want it to just barely touch. And then you're gonna wanna take it to the tire and just have it barely touch on the tire. You're gonna be able to look at the front of the wheel and the rear of the wheel and be able to tell if it needs to go toe out more or toe in. Toe in is when your wheels are like this. Think of this as the front of your wheels. 0 degree toe is just straight forward, and toe out would be like this. So on this car, I want it to be about 0 degrees toe. That is aggressive because when you start to get under suspension load, you're gonna get a little bit of positive toe. However, that is going to give you a little bit of a quicker turn in on, say, a race car or autocross car, something like that. A little bit of toe in is gonna give your car more straight line stability. So you can look up the stock manufacturer's recommendations and try to dial into that. There are also trapezoidal calculators that you can figure out like how much you need, you know, toe in on the front or toe out, and figure that out with the exact measurements. So for example, this wheel here is pretty much touching in the back, and in the front here, it has a bit more of a gap, which is telling me that this wheel has a bit more toe in than the other wheel. If I go over here and I look, actually they're about the same. So now all I gotta do is adjust the tie rod. I have hemispherical tie rod ends on this car, just for race car stuff, so they have no play. But all we're gonna do is adjust that and make this wheel get pushed out a little bit, and that is gonna correct our toe-in issue on this car, and then I will have the alignment dialed. So I'm gonna go ahead and make those corrections right now. Once I get those things dialed in, I'll kind of just show you guys that the car is all dialed in and I have 0 toe. Then we'll put the toe plates on because those are a really good accurate measurement. As you can see, my steering wheel is centered. Sorry guys, it's kind of dark. It just got dark out here. So real quickly, I am just basically setting up this plate just like this. I'm gonna take the strap. Now your toe plates may have something different on them. You're gonna wanna check the caster and the camber first and dial that in. Right now, all I'm doing is just doing this for a baseline, just because I wanna see how well I did with the string alignment. So you wanna make sure that that's nice and level up against the wheel, and that you have basically the camber dialed in. Feed one through to the other side of the car, and then we'll bring the other one around to the front as well. Now what we're gonna do is just lock the tape measures into the side right here. Make sure they're both in the same position. Now we grab the tape measure, getting all the slack out. Okay, so now that we have our tape measures set up, you're just basically gonna make sure the plates are flat and then take the reading. Looks like I'm at 66 1/4 on this side, about 66 1/4. So pretty much I'm set at 0 toe, which is exactly what I wanted. You wanna have those numbers even if you're going for 0 toe. If you have this number a little bit less in the front, that's gonna be a bit of toe in. If you have this number more in the front and less in the rear, that's toe out. All you're gonna have to do is adjust your tie rod ends accordingly if you need it to go in or out, depending on what kind of alignment setting you're trying to get. 0 is easy. If you want like a 1/4 in, that's fine too. That'll help you kind of track straighter. And also what's cool about this kit is it came with a dry erase marker. So literally you can just write your measurements right here on each side of the toe board, and you can wipe them off at a later time. And that way you can remember what you're trying to dial yourself into.
All right guys, so the Birdie 30 is pretty much all finished up. As you can see over here, we got that string. It's looking real nice and straight, so that's great. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. Later. Reach on!